Hello and welcome to Chelsea High School for tonight's Division I North semifinals in the MIAA State Tournament between our heroes, the Lady Highlanders from Somerville High, and the Cambridge Regional Latin Falcons. Jim, tonight is going to be a brawl.
This is the big trifecta, Bob, that you and I have been hoping for and talking about all season long. Somerville has beaten Cambridge in Somerville. Somerville has beaten Cambridge in Cambridge. Bob, for the first time, possibly in the school history, certainly as far back as you and I can remember, 3 times in one season can Somerville beat Cambridge, this time in a neutral site. We're here at Chelsea High School, Bob, and I don't want to be anywhere else.
The Lady Highlanders swept the regular season series between Cambridge, claiming the Greater Boston League title all to themselves. Second year in a row they did that. But tonight, Jim, Cambridge is fired up. The Lady Highlanders are fired up. And a couple of key players to watch for Cambridge, once again, Shasha Atkins and the big center, Shauna Ruggless.
Shauna Ruggless, Bob. I've said it before. I feel due to say it again. I think she's a fine young lady. I've spoken to her once briefly before a game. I've seen her comments on hometownsports.com. She's a nice girl. She plays with a lot of enthusiasm, but you know she's a good sportsman, a good sportswoman in her own right. Also, Asia Pasquale, she can always bite you in the butt if you're not paying attention to her.
Asia Pasquale back in the lineup for Cambridge for this playoff game. She missed the game that the Lady Highlanders played at Cambridge due to ineligibility, Jim. However, she's back in the lineup tonight, and that's good news for Cambridge. I was reading the scouting report that Tom Helen did on the Cambridge Falcons, and an interesting side bit, Jim. He wrote down, Cambridge will trash talk, I should say, just ignore it.
Interesting. Well, Bob, the coach Handsome Helen comes up with anything and everything. What also could be a factor, and it may have been in his notes, I don't know, is the fans from Cambridge have now and again been a little bit difficult to deal with. Again, this is a neutral territory, so it's going to be tough to see. If you ask me, Bob, I think Somerville has definitely outdone Cambridge in the fan base, but it's hard to tell until we actually hear the applause from different sides, but certainly more red, white, and blue here than there is black.
Jim, you didn't notice when I was here early setting up the camera crew, and I walked into Chelsea High School, and the Chelsea girls basketball team were here waiting to leave on their bus, and they actually knew who you and I were. I walked in, they were like, oh my God, there's Jim and Bob, I can't believe they're here.
Wow, and I wasn't even here, and they thought I was here. That's very flattering. Actually, I was walking outside from my parking space, which is a mile away that I'll tell you about later during a timeout, and somebody drove by. I thought I'd drop one of my props, so I looked down, I stopped running, I looked down, I looked back, then I didn't see anything, so I kept running, and somebody rolled down a window and said, you were right there, Jim? I think it was Mrs. Demon. I'm not sure.
There you have it. Jim and I are going to sit behind the TV table, get ready for this ball game. It's going to be great.